Welcome to the show today, Shannon Lee. Thank you so much for being here.
Great. Thanks for having me, Lauren.
Can you give us just a high-level overview of the work that you do?
Yes, I'd love to. So, what I do is I help people overcome emotional eating and find peace with food, their body, and their mind.
That sounds really important. Let's learn a little bit about you first. I'm sure this isn't the work that you came out of high school doing. Tell us where you've been before now.
Yeah, it would have been helpful if I started in high school, actually. I became a health coach because of having my own health challenges. They started probably when I was a young kid, about 5 or 6, and having allergies to everything under the sun, from pollen to grass to dust to rabbits, horses, dogs, cats, everything. And so my immune system was just really compromised. And so I quickly became addicted to sugar and processed foods, and which was also compromising my immune system. So it was kind of this double whammy. I was a really picky kid. So I'd have to take Benadryl, and then I'd be a zombie for the rest of the night. And then within a couple days, I'd either have bronchitis or strep throat. And so I was on antibiotics about 2 or 3 times a year until, gosh, I was a young adult, until I was out of college. That was kind of this pattern that I had, with the combination of a compromised immune system and then not eating well, just really being addicted to processed foods and sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you want me to dive deeper?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that's the quick synopsis. But so what happened was, I started doing allergy shots by the time I was 15. And then with that, no improvement, no change. And then I was 18 and I had been an athlete my whole life. So I was kind of like addicted to adrenaline and sugar at that point. So I was a cheerleader. I loved it. It's like a natural born coach, right? It was always cheering. And then in college, I sort of kind of wandered into the great outdoors, and I started rock climbing and kind of chasing that thrill and adrenaline. And by the time I was 28, I was living out of a van and doing a sponsored sort of life rock climbing. And I had so one of the things I was supposed to do to get free gear was rock climb. So I was climbing like over 200 days a year, living in a little van down by the river, literally. And yeah, it was like, it's so funny that van life has just come out because I'm on like my fourth van now. At 47, I started at 27. So I've had my run of vans. But what happened was I got chronic fatigue, and we were driving cross country on our last trip, my partner and I, in his van, and we were climbing, and I had a fever that spiked to about 103. And we're out in the middle of nowhere in a van in the middle of the night in Tennessee. And I was crying. I was sweating profusely. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to get on antibiotics again. And it was really frustrating because I think about 25, I started cleaning up my diet. I was working for this Outward Bound school, and I was kind of forced to eat whatever the chef was preparing. So I got into smoothies, and so I'd been working really hard and actually eating a lot better once I started taking my climbing a little bit more seriously. And then I got wowied with this major kidney infection, had to get on antibiotics again. And I literally, like, on my knees was like, all right, in the middle of my van, I was like, I'm going to figure this out. And this is going to be the last time I take antibiotics. Like, I'm going to rebuild my immune system and I'm going to figure it out. So that was 20 years ago. And I have not been on antibiotics since. And despite, they tried to put me on a lot of different medications, and they kind of picked on me. They were like, well, of course you're tired. Nobody rock climbs every day. You shouldn't be rock climbing every day. That's why you're so tired. And I was like, no, I'm 28. I should have lots of energy. And all the people I was climbing with, I couldn't keep up with them. So
Right.
I could really see a difference. So that's when my journey began. And, I've had lots of things unfold in the last 20 years that just kind of keep propelling this journey for me. Yeah.